right, it's a good thing I'm blessed it's showing. So I guess I'm sowing. Yeah, I'm sowing. I guess I'm sowing.
Yeah. And a very big buongiorno to you, ragazzi, and a huge shout out to my PIC, sorry, Raul Sharma, Uncle Sharma. Zil, come stai? How are you?
Tutto bene, thanks for having me on. Great to collab with my guy. Everyone just stop what you're doing, go on Google and search for Nikola Maximovic and tell me that does not look like Anthony.
Man, Raul, someone different that looks like me all the time. I think back, he said it was Jack Bonaventura, who actually had a nice moment and he looked really emotional as he left San Siro today. But it's always to have another one of these collaborations with you, bro. It's always a pleasure. So thanks for joining me. And this will be up on both of our channels pretty much around the same time. So go and check it out on Mr. Uncle Sharma's channel, please. We were gonna have this real positive preview for Getafe. It's just like we were all positive after Atalanta. We beat them 2-0. Granted, Ilicic wasn't there, and they've had to take it down a notch a little bit in terms of motivation the last 3 or 4 days. Mm-hmm. But Antonio Conte was having absolutely none of that, bro. Absolutely none of that. But I'll let you start off, man. What was your reaction to Antonio Conte's post-match interview, bro?
Well, as you said, we're all, especially, I'm quite satisfied with that performance in terms of the whole Serie A season. Yeah, finishing second, best defense, second best attack, least losses in the league. And then, I'm expecting Conte to be like, well done to the guys, great year. And this guy goes on an absolute rant. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, we know Conte likes to go on a rant, but I've never seen anything like this, attacking the board outright, not even willy-nilling around it, straight up attacking the board. He said, I have no protection. The players have no protection. Calling out the issue that we've been having with the mole. And I'm just like, whoa, what is happening here? But what was do you think his comments were justified, or you think he's a bit over the top?
I think it's a real over the top way of trying to say, I've proven to you that I can get the results with the resources you've given me. Now back me or else. And I'm like, bro, there's no need for that. Why can't we just bury the hatchet of this awesome 2-0 win against a side who isn't a relegation side, isn't a mid-table side, isn't even a top 6 side. This is probably the best side in Italy this season. The table will say that they're the 3rd best side in Italy this season. But ask anybody who watches Serie A regularly and they will say Atalanta, for the longest period of time, had the best style of football in Italy this season, which returned the best looking results. And we beat them 2-0 in Bergamo, which isn't easy to do. Fans started off Conte-esque, blitzed them in the opening 30 minutes, went to halftime comfortable. Yeah, we took the brakes off a little in the second half, but I actually think it was one of those games where the opponent had possession, but never really looked too threatening at the same time. Yeah. And granted, in the last match of the season, you don't really expect teams to have that extra boost of energy in the last 15 minutes. And that's what we were happy to do, and we played out that result. Conte looked really happy with Gasperini at the end of the day, having just a little, amigo handshake at the end. What's going on, brother? And then all hell just seemed to break loose afterwards. I've got no protection. I've read that some fans think it's all just, it's all just a big act in order to defer the media or anything. But to me, it just plays right in their hands, because tomorrow we could have woken up to headlines, or today for you, whatever. You could have woken up to headlines, a positive Inter. Not that any media likes to praise Inter, but still, now it's just all going to be negative, and it's all going to be on Conte. And what happens next, I guess the show goes on, the TV show goes on, right?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. The timing is just so odd, and it's almost like a premeditated. You could tell that he had these things in his mind for a while, and he's waited for this last match of the Serie A season to say them. And very odd timing. You don't need to air out the club's problems in such a public manner. You can solve these things privately. I know that the president hasn't been able to make his way to Italy because obviously the pandemic and everything. So, just be patient. Don't kick up a fuss like a little baby, in front of everyone. And as you said, yeah, the papers could have been talking about positive Inter finishing second, but now they're going to be talking about Conte and, fractions between the directors and the board, and like, yeah, very odd timing. But at the same time, I feel like this is going to bring the dressing room together because he's backed the players publicly now. He said, like, you've been bashing these players the whole season, no protection. Getafe, big matches coming now, a chance for our real first European trophy in a long, long time. And, I feel like this is going to bring the players together. They're going to be like, I want to play for this guy. He's protecting me against everyone.
If that's his strategy, then I'm all for it. I'm all behind it. And you know what? He's shown that he can get the best out of these players, not just the players that are in the spotlight for all the right reasons financially and statistically. I'm talking about the players like D'Ambrosio, who's just grabbed 2 in 2, like Ashley Young, 35 years of age, playing like he's prime 27. And, at the end of the day, you got players like Victor Moses coming on and showing that 12 million is a bargain to redeem, but Antonio Candreva might deserve to be ahead of him because he plays under his skin under Conte. It's a good problem to finally bloody have, you know what I mean, man? And I like that we're going to Getafe with a squad of players who'll be itching to get on that pitch and give it 110%. I really do hope it shows. I really do, Getafe, hope it shows. So is that where we're going to leave it for Conte? We might as well move on to the game against the Spanish side, right?
Yeah, definitely. Let's get the views of the viewers. Comment below what your thoughts were on that Conte rant. Are you happy about that, or you just completely think like the guys are out of order?
Yeah, well, let's look ahead to Getafe. So it's going to be tough, man. It's not going to be easy. But the thing that I'm taking into this one with confidence is that they didn't actually finish their La Liga campaign very well. They didn't win 4 out of their last 6 games. I know that they dropped points 4 out of the last 6 games, despite having a good season overall for a club of their caliber. They played some good football. They're in the Europa League round of 16 for a reason. But in terms of players that pose a threat, I don't necessarily think they are players that our defenders will not be able to handle on the attack. And defensively, I've just done a little bit of looking at their last 3 or 4 games in La Liga video-wise, but there's nothing I don't think our boys can handle. They actually play a little bit similar to us up top. They've got 2 target men a lot of the time, but they do a little bit more moving in and out of defenders than the average target men will. Once again, I don't think it's going to be a problem for us, provided we line up with a very, very good side, and we're going to have form on our side. Not just form, but just regular team coherency on our side. That's going to play a huge factor because it's only one game, it's only one leg. So let's just get the job done. So before I look at some team news and lineups, what are your thoughts going into the initial thoughts? Are you confident?
Yeah, I'm confident, more than confident than I was. If we had to play them back in March, when we first originally had to play them, they were in a really good patch of form. They were one of the standout performers in the La Liga. They were like, the kind of like Hellas Verona, kind of a surprise package for the Spanish league. They were playing this, really old school 4-4-2, defending deep, and the defense was like supposed to be one of the best in the La Liga. But yeah, after they came back from this COVID break, they've not been anywhere near as good. So yeah, and as you said, there's no real standout individual talent. They've got, I think their top scorer is Mata, but I think he's only got like 11 goals or something. So nothing stand out. So they don't really score much goals. They don't really concede too much as well. But we do struggle against these kind of 4-4-2 low block type of teams. So it's not going to be, I don't think, an easy to break them down. But yeah, I'm not really too scared.
Yeah, absolutely. So 5th in La Liga this season, and as Raul said, like their goal difference kind of evens out. They don't necessarily score a lot of goals, but they don't concede many either. It's their first encounter with an Italian club in the UEFA history.
Oh wow,
so that's pretty interesting. If you're a Getafe fan, you've never faced an Italian side in UEFA before. So good for their fans if that's something that they've ever been interested in as well. So they finished 5th in La Liga as well last season, just missing out on the Champions League. So they look like a club that's got a little bit of an identity together. So they will definitely come to play. They're the kind of team that you would maybe fear going to their ground because they'd have a set of fans that would really back them.
Yeah.
As I said, we've got that advantage of it being one leg. So in terms of team news and players, I'll just go into our team news because I'm not really going to look at their team too closely because I don't know a thing about them. I'm not going to look at them closely and pretend that I know. But we've got to line up with obviously Handanovic. Despite a couple of fans whispering that Skriniar might be on the fringe with these rumors. He's definitely going to start the match against Getafe. He has to, because if he doesn't, then that's a contest segment, exclamation mark. That's good. So he's got to do it. It's got to be good for Skriniar. And I would like to say Bastoni, but I think Conte might be geared towards starting Godin against a Spanish team in any way for competition. Me personally, I'd start Bastoni, but I see this game as maybe Godin playing. Even though he did start today, though, didn't he, against Atalanta?
Yeah.
That won't really be a factor because it's 6 days until the next game, and I think the boys have become accustomed to playing every 3 days. It seems like a little break, most of them. Midfield-wise, Barella will be fit. Brozovic will be fit. If Sensi is fit, maybe he can make an appearance in the starting 11, or maybe he's on the bench. But I think that we will start Eriksen.
I don't know, man. This guy is like giving him these like two minutes at the end of the match. Like it must be a message to the board or to I don't know what's going on with that situation, because you know, like that, it doesn't make any sense to put Eriksen on for 2 minutes. Like he clearly doesn't, you know, we know that he's not a Conte type player. He's definitely not Conte signing. That's a Marotta or Auxilio signing. But yeah, it's I'm really not seeing him start. I would like to see him start, as he said, because I feel like we should play that 3-4-1-2 formation against a you know, flat 4-4-2, because you get that space in between the lines. But we returned to that 3-5-2 yesterday, which was interesting. We haven't played that formation for a while. What do you think? Would you prefer the 3-5-2, or do you like the trequartista formation?
It's a thing with Conte, because both of those formations, regardless, go in with the Conte attitude of like let's go in and absolutely maul teams in the first 20-25 minutes. So I feel like our games this season, no matter what formation we played, have faced a very familiar trend. And it's just all about gassing it at 70 minutes, 65, 70 minutes. So regardless, I think Eriksen, that 3-5-2 is so adaptable. It can be fringed and adapted in many ways as well. But at the moment, I think the wing backs are playing quite well. They're adapting well to Conte's system. And, you know, ever since we signed Hakimi, every wing back has basically started playing like they deserve a starting spot on the side.
Oh,
Go figure, and you know what happened. And that meme of D'Ambrosio just axing every single wing back, it's going to come out again. Yeah. But in terms of how we're going to approach this game formation-wise, I think we'll go with the 3-5-2 and just go with Brozovic, Barella, and Eriksen, with Eriksen pushing up a little bit in front of the two with more of a diamond shape. And Ashley Young. No, I don't know, man. It could be. It could very well be. Right? Maybe he got that card on purpose in Serie A to earn himself that break, and then Europa League started. Here we go. And
what
then
about wing backs?
Ashley Young on the left for sure, because he's just professional in every way, shape, or form, and I just think he can get a job done. On the right-hand side, I think he will start Candreva. I don't think D'Ambrosio is the best for that right wing-back position. I know you think that as well. I don't mind him in a back three. I like him in a back four, but as a 3-5-2, and I was actually surprised how well he played today. He scores a goal 47 seconds with Danilone, and you know, his goal against Napoli was awesome. Really good striker's finish with his left foot. But yeah, I wouldn't start him in this game as well. But good on him. There's absolutely no way we're going to sell him. He's a player that will stay with us until his contracts basically run dry, and rightfully so, man. He's a great servant to the club, and I'm glad to have him. So I would probably start Candreva. I wouldn't be opposed to starting Victor Moses, to be honest. But I do think Candreva definitely gets the nod in this game, and he will probably play well. He will probably play well. And up top, well, that's where it gets interesting. But after that really awesome hit against Napoli, I don't think you can't start Lautaro. He's got that little bit of confidence, and I actually think he quite played well today. He didn't overdo it today in any way. And maybe he didn't get himself into too many attacking opportunities today as he would have liked, but I like that he was linking up comfortably with the midfield. I like that he was linking up, like he looked like he was enjoying himself. You know, there was no need to turn every single player, no matter if you were 10 yards, 20 yards, 25 yards out. So that was good. And if he's going to start him again, so be it. Or if he starts Sanchez, that's fine as well. We've got that luxury, and it feels good to have that depth. What about you, man, in terms of lineup? How you feeling?
Yeah, no, I agree. Ashley Young has to start. He's the starting left wing back for sure, ahead of Biragi. And Azamo, I don't know what's happened to him. He's just, I don't know. I've never, I haven't seen that guy since like last year. Yeah, right wing back. I would like to see Moses starting, but we know that Candreva is a Antonio Conte favorite, and we can't argue with it. He's put the stats behind him. He's always got the most assists and goals of our wing backs. Yeah, up front, Lukaku obviously must start, and then next to him, I think Lautaro retains the place because he's just too important for Conte's system. You know, the way how hard he works and the way he can win the ball back. I think, yeah, he's just earns an edge over Sanchez, even though Sanchez has been in the form of, the best form he's been in the last 3 or 4 years. I think Lautaro at the moment, that partnership is still the starting partnership for me. And yeah, I find it difficult to see Sanchez starting. I think, yeah, that formation there should get the job done. I would play Ericsson in that CAM position, but yeah, not much difference between 3-5-2 and 3-4-1-2. But I think it makes a difference in Brozovic's performance. I think he performs much better when he's a little bit deeper, like he played yesterday. He seems a little bit lost when he plays in the 3-4-1-2 because you have to be, it's more of a free role and he has to be like caged in. Like I remember Spalletti saying like, Brozovic is good when you cage him. You need to tell him where to stay rather than letting him float around like a headless chicken that he can be.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I reckon like if we can get an early goal in this game, it'll mean a lot. I expect us to come out guns blazing. I love that we come out this hard, man, because yeah, it's the best thing. The mark of a really good football team is a team who can score early, I think. And then it's all about how well you control the game. You'd rather play from the front. And I think we're 70% of the way there. It's just that last 30% that we're looking to get right. And I think it's coming together nicely. And there'd be no better way to show it than together.
Yeah. So we're definitely some of the favourites in the competition, aren't we? I think, apart from us, only I think Man United are the bookies favour Man United, and I think we're second favourite. So we've got no excuses. The teams left in there, we're better than all the teams left in there, like Leverkusen or I can't remember which other teams, the Roma. We're better than all the teams in the competition. So no excuses anymore.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's all about getting over the line. And just now that the domestic season's out of the way, we've only got one game in front of us. And I don't know, is it if we do go through, knock on wood, and we do get to the quarterfinals, do they go back to 2 legs, one at each stadium?
No, I think it stays as a one match thing the whole way through.
Wow, so we're potentially 4 victories away from winning a European trophy under Conte. If that doesn't motivate him and the boys, I don't know what will, man, because that's right there for the taking, G.
Yeah, I hope they release that third kit in time for this as well, because that third kit is like proper throwback for UEFA Cup winning team.
That'd be really, really cool, man. Really cool. Just in time to see Borja Valero play 4 straight games in the Europa League. But wait, man, full credit to Valero. Before we finish this kind of stiff, he's staying on for another year. So are you happy with that?
Well, it's one of those things. It's like, I think he's earned it from his performances, but Conte deserves criticism for not playing him earlier on in the season. I used to criticize him a lot for that because Brozovic, Barella could have been rested a lot more early on in the season, and he didn't seem to trust Valero until like November time when he had to play him. And then even he said in interviews that he got it wrong with him. He thought he didn't have it in him, but this guy, when he plays, he covers most kilometers in the match. So big shout out to him. Great professional, great example to other players in that team.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, time to do that last thing and embarrass ourselves. You go first. Prediction.
Ooh, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 victory for Inter.
I actually think it might be a little bit more comfortable. I think we might win 3-1. I think we might be out to 2-0, and we'll wrap it up. I don't know if it goes to 2-1, but I think we can win by 2 goals. So I'll go 3-1.
Yeah, I reckon Sensi comes on, gets the winner. No, I'm joking.
Then he gets injured while celebrating the goal.
Yeah, celebrating. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, from everybody who's been watching, thank you very much. Check out Inter Worldwide, and more importantly, check out the Uncle Sharma channel. It's my guy, Raul. Thank you very much. Pleasure as always.
Like and subscribe, everyone.
All right, ciao ragazzi, forza Inter.